I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know if anybody's even listening right now. Like these voices in the background makes them feel virtually not alone. You know? Your host, General Griswold Gaius, member of the First Law Regression Protocol and a member of the Fraternal Regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. On behalf of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency, as with the film, we have some all-stars in the hive mind today. Hive mind today. Hive mind today. Hive mind today. Hive mind today.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
That little C part right there is what I was just talking about when you couldn't hear me. Pastor Paul had an opportunity. Well, I'll just start over. None of this has happened. None of this has happened. Remember it.
This agency. We want
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Solutions and Suspension stream, wherever it leads. I'm your host, General Griswold Gaius, Grim of the First Law of Regression Protocol. We have cards. We have cards, we have dice, and we have clips.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
Now we'll start it off with the dice first, since everybody almost has got their bonuses for telling me when I'm muted like a dumbass. The way this works is I do saving throws versus mind control. You get to choose what to base the roll on. I roll multiple dice, you see. One for survival, one for social, one for wisdom, one for heart, and one I don't talk about. And you get to pick between those four choices as the basis of your savings throw, and that is your participatory involvement, that choice that actually grants you the save. Otherwise, you're just... But when you participate and you choose, I roll the dice, and if it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control that follows in the rest of the show and the rest of your day. And if it's under 10, you take full damage. But remember, everybody, we want what's best for you. Now, there are bonuses available to these rolls, +2 just for chatting in the Hive Mind chat. But when I make a special ass of myself and muted and waving my hands around like this, that's your opportunity for an even extra bonus to your savings throw, like all of these Hive Mind folks achieved. See, if you merely type the words like Rascal did here, you get a +2 to the savings throw. But if you emoji it up, like Ups and Franco and Neutrino and Cassandro, if you do it like that, you get a +4 to these rolls. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Survivalist with a 17. Prime 17, as we call it. Socialist, solid 16. Pair of 8s today. Lovers of wisdom. That's a 6 for you. You could make it with your bonuses. Hard folks, though, bonuses don't apply. The rhythm is gonna get you on this stream. Indigo kids, you got the chakras today. Number of chakras for you.
You're crushing me, people. You're crushing me. I'm big, but I'm not that big.
Howdy, boy, howdy. Good to see you, Hezzy. Good to see you. We can do cards for the show around here. We'll start with this deck, in your honor. In your honor. I saw a little bit of you over on Grail Country this morning. I don't know if you're aware, but Luke Thompson has decided to take Grail Country and compete with me for the morning live stream slot. He's got good titles, that guy. Card for the show, for you folks, is the 7 of spades. We'll get the casino deck rolling right along shortly. You know, it was cute and fun when we were doing a card for the show, but now that we're up to 3, man, I just don't know. How's everybody doing out there in the world today? This is one of those special post PVK bump streams where I try extra hard because he put me in his homeroom today, where I've reshared it as how a pastor of a internet niche community deals with current world events. Casino card for the show. 6 of hearts. 6 of hearts. And you know what? The Blue Church doesn't even get one today.
No fur here. Sharks don't have fur.
Oh, man. Let's see. What's in the news today? Suspensions and... no, that's not in the news. That's in the title of the stream. Solutions and suspensions. Well, let's get on with it then. Wait, you don't even share this tab instead. Oh,
The final solution. That was again a piece, and I'll just pull up the video.
Back. I said top-down solutions. The word solution, I almost want to excise it from the political vocabulary because politics is a living, ongoing thing. It's a constant renegotiation. It's a constant putting new and fresh energy in to the system. Like you got to paint your house. You know, you got to take care of things.
Yeah, it's a living organism, really.
Right.
And it has a kind of opponent processing aspect to it, where it's like you push it a little harder this way, like order and chaos.
So who talks about solutions? Well, it's a technical notion, right? Yeah. It's almost like a mathematical thing. And I kind of repeat this phrase. It seems to me that all political solutions, like real solutions, are final solutions, right? That is to say, I mean, it's death in some way. Incidentally,
to build was a just, equitable democracy that took control of Chile's economy from the United States and its proxies. In Santiago, General Pinochet, America's man.
Dadgummit, that wasn't the part. You know, I had put up a clip, like I'd found the spot already, but then I restarted and updated the windows. And that was problematic.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny.
I don't know. I think it will be, though. I think it will be. What a fumble, bro. Shut up, man.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
All right, once again, I need to get back on track. All right. Let's slow it down a little bit and have a nice pep. All right, you guys want to have a pep? I don't know. This is LARPgate Year 4, the Fallen version, and you might be new around here for some reason. And the pep is a past authoring, a story from mine own history that is somehow relevant to somebody. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal for making this all possible. Banners, turn that off. Okay, so the pap part of the history goes like this. Once upon a time, I was a truther and trolled the truth stream media people. And in the video where they define themselves over on their channel, We Are True Stream Media, they feature a tweet of mine, and as such, my narcissism has bound me to them forever. And they've recently released this video. This is not just about the border, and it's quite fabulous. But as relates to solutions,
so to ignore the things that the government has done, not just under Biden's administration, but previous administrations before him, going back to when I was a child, to drive migrants here, for anyone to think that that same instrument involved in doing that is going to solve or fix a problem that it caused, without that solution being a pre-planned, prescribed solution, scribed previously, the very kind of solution that's found after the words problem and reaction in the Hegelian dialectic. To think that
now, that whenever I hear about the Hegelian dialectic in present times, I'm reminded of Jordan B. Peterson, the WEF, and the ARC program. And it turns out he trigonometried me again today over on X with this tweet I thought I should share with you, where he says, Jordan B. Peterson says the UN is an evil joke. In the style of tweeting he stole from me with the line breaks, for them saying that Israel's sieges on Gaza are prohibited under humanitarian law. Well, now, wait, no. So, first of all,
the international.
Stop it. I really tried hard to go get the clip from Tombstone where he says my hypocrisy only goes so far because of how much work with and for the UN Dr. Peterson has reportedly done and praised in previous times. However, there's the point that what goes on at the UN is funding what's happening at the border. Really, thanks to TrueStream, I can show you this. Stop. Share. Play.
That's not going to be the case. Is really just choosing to be blind to everything that's planned for this future that they're telling us all the time they're trying to usher in. That's also been long reported by the mainstream media, just by the way, that the UN wants a universal digital ID, that would be particularly useful for refugees. And of course, that's also been touted by the World Economic Forum as a solution to alleviate global risks of health and movement, which they started pushing really right after COVID hit the fan in a report they put out in May 2020. So this is really being talked about a lot last year, how they were facing the biggest recruiting hurdles in 50 years in the military. And if you recall what was going on 50 years ago, that was 1973 was the end of direct U.S. military involvement in the Vietnam War. So you can probably imagine why that wasn't super popular then. And so we haven't seen these kinds of recruiting issues with our military since that time. And so last October, it was reported that the Army had missed its annual recruitment by 25%, which was the worst ever. And that the Army itself had shrunk to the smallest size it had been since 1940. And that they were struggling to find recruits. And that is...
Okay, you guys ask for the +4. The point was, like, there's military-aged men flooding across the border. The Army, military is reporting low recruitment rates, and Vice once upon a time did a piece called Mexican Muslims. I recently released Unto the World on the After Dark channel, something you may or may not be interested in. It involved this here. I gotta upload the overlay. Hold on. Hey, welcome. I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This pet is over on the After Dark channel. It's available. Links to it are available in the Discord and I put it over on the Birds of Meaning Discord as well. It's a little too serious of a topic. I wanted it, like, if it was me covering it instead of the guy on the After Dark channel, I would have pointed out how, like, it would have been an episode of Universal History, actually. But anyway, we have cards to go through now and an interlude. And
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness. I'm attacking the darkness. I'm attacking the darkness.
It turns out. Oh wait, maybe I tagged Grail Country in it. I have on this note card here the things I'm supposed to go over: Civ 5 and Prophecy, Perusia, and Eschaton. And that involves me finding the episode of Grail Country that is over 27,000 freaking views, bro. And so this is me looking for that. Meanwhile, I will give you more of Paul's coverage of me, or at least part of it. Oh no! I honestly, I want to give Paul the props for, like, hoisting this up on his channel.
The attentional eye of Sauron turns because Ukraine, COVID, woke wars, just zip, 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 zip. The ADHD media attention. Look over here, look over there, look over there, look over there. Attention, 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 attention. We're feeding it attention.
The internet has afforded a space where the relationship between attention and power has been increased, by thousands of times, and so all of a sudden, people understanding that how attention can be a weapon, right, and attention can be a way to dominate and can be a way to seduce. Now you have 100,000 people, 100,000 people under you that can act as your body. That how attention can be a weapon, right, and attention can be a way to dominate and can be a way to seduce. Now you have 100,000 people, 100,000 people under you that can act as your body.
What you're talking about.
Yeah, and the internet is like a monster. The internet is a being that lives through attention. The internet is like a monster. The internet requires our attention to exist. Like the internet is like a monster. The internet is a being.
Put it away, Bones. How many times?
That's from Friday morning, nameless. Prosperity gospel on the Enterprise. Soon we'll lose interest if it doesn't expand. The funny thing about that I often tell my kids, I say, you know, in 1939, people didn't know they were in World War II. They didn't know that in 1936.
Oh, and I was proud of you, Pastor Paul, for this part. Honestly, proud, sir.
But the Japanese were already in China, and Hitler was already gobbling up Europe. And it's not until you're in it neck deep that you know you're in it. So we could already be in it, and yeah, we don't know it yet. We don't know it. Noticed on, the Al Jazeera piece, what does real peace actually look like for everyone? Well, now we're at the religious level, and Grim was breaking down yesterday.
All right. So to be clear, the part that I was proud of, I let it play a little long. It wasn't putting me next to the Al Jazeera lady. It was the you're part of it now, part of the God mask you hit upon, and this part where it says the beast takes what it wants and gets what it gets. I actually, over on Grill Country with Joe Schmo talking, I think that was Joe Schmo, right? I've sent him an invite to this stream in case he wants to talk about what he was talking about there. But over on Grail Country, the most 27,000 that this thing has gotten. Here's a piece.
Like, who thinks that what the Perusia is something that you're going to see with your material eyes?
Well, before we say hello to the new person, for just to that, I batted away.
Hey, Sherry.
I batted away with maybe the people who think the Earth is 6,000 years old. Oh, hey,
right,
Sherry.
yeah, right, exactly, right. So Christians who are already captured by materialism, that is right.
Tell me about your Perusia, he said to me, and I wasn't ready. I've invited Grail Country and vicariously, proximately, whatever, Sherry to come back, and we clearly need to do a follow-up. But the thing on the card says Civilization 5 and the transform into what? But the Civilization 5 part comes from a series of video games by a mysterious figure known only as Sid Meier. And the thing I'd like to express to you is if you're going to allow your little young minds that you're bringing up to play video games, the Sid Meier series is probably as close to an education as one can get through video games, and that's with The Sims and Spore and Civilization, which is a series about growing civilizations. And the part that had been sticking out with me so much lately is in the early phase of the game, you get to start off as like a tribe, like Muhammad, and then you go and you build a city and whatnot, and you fight with everybody else to take over the world. And in some of those early battles in the game Civilization 5, those spots where those early battles happen later become archaeological sites, which it's like, but only some of them, and the ones that do and the ones that don't, and the civilizations that get snuffed out before the rest of them grow up. There's something about that that's been rocking in my mind and ended up on this card, and I don't know if at all it's related to prophecy, parousia, or eschaton, but I'm going to speculate that it is right after this.
Remember, there is no agency. We want what's best.
Now, I don't know if I've clicked into the right spot, but somewhere when Paul was reading this hardcore tweet, no, this hardcore tweet on the issue. It sparked something I remembered that gets into the prophecy, parousia, eschaton discussion quite well. Let's see if that's this spot.
That the time is right, citing both Afghanistan and Ukraine. They believe that the U.S. no longer has the will to intervene decisively. You know, that whole no longer has the will argument was sort of what Putin had, and it hasn't served him. Highly ideological societies tend to see you exactly what they will do, tend to tell you exactly what they will do and why. Recall Putin's long historical essays on Ukraine. In August 2022, interview post.
That's not the spot. The spot is like, no. The spot is because I remember, I see, along with my irreverence hindrance, I've also been given the dose of that clever, and clever is like a double-edged sword. Trust me. But it's in one of those things, I heard that, like, you know, those Muslim fellas, that's kind of a problem. And then I later found out that they had this prophecy that, like, there would be a final battle in Gaza, and that's where the final battle was going to be, and the whole world would fight them there. And I was like, oh, well, that's easy to solve. Just never ever have the whole world fight them there, and we win. But instead, what seems to be happening on the global theater is pushing toward that event in the same way that this is probably all sorts of signs and symbols that the Messiah is finally coming for our Israeli friends. And similarly, it's looking like the end times with them doing wars and rumors of wars and famines and the marks of the beast for all of us believing of the Christians things. And that's where prophecy, parousia, and eschaton runs in together. If the universe does operate on faith, at least 10%, right? Because, like, all right, you got to fill the universe, okay? You're whatever. There's a whole universe of everything, and you got to fill it, and that's a little problematic. So what you do is you want to do it with as few possible resources as possible, and so you develop an efficient system. And I think that's what happened in our case, and the way I think it works is involving instances and faith. And the point is like, even the scientist atheist folk have to say, well, there's this thing called the placebo effect, right? So imagine that on the noosphere level, the 10% of reality gets to shift based on what people believe, what they have faith is true. And like, they don't even have to know they have faith that it's true. It's not like got to be an expressed belief, but like as embodied in the world, in their actions and behavior, the faith that thing is true. Now, if you do that and you take prophecy and you spread it across the world and have people put faith that this thing is going to happen, if in an efficient system, it would steer their experiential reality toward it happening, which I refer to regularly as the Tomorrowland effect. And I'm not even good because I'll have to clip it out for copyright. But the movie Tomorrowland it had Dr. House in it. That's the important part. Dr. House gives a speech at the end of Tomorrowland. Pretend it's right here. Okay, that's the Tomorrowland effect and how the placebo effect steers reality. Now, have you ever had to deal with the pesky religion? Does that religion have a Messiah come? Well, boy, let me tell you. Wouldn't it be convenient if he came and then the religion was like, over? Well, that's Project Bluebeam in a nutshell. Have a shanty again.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Well, now, the next thing on the card is called the Pilgrim Mage Pap. The Pilgrim Mage Pap, which means it's another pap monster attacking. It seems though like the only starred comment I have is the check-in from our friend that we've known to be in Israel, and all the super chats automatically get starred. So clearly, YouTube is stifling me based on the content.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime? I don't know.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal for making this and all episodes possible. I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. All right, now the Pilgrim Mage Pep. Okay, all right. Once upon a time, I left the devil's armpit of Portland, Oregon, to go and live with my father in the hell of Las Vegas, where I've learned that you have to be really, really hungry if you want the job. And as my adventures from that place continued, I decided to make a trek. To a place called Crater Lake back in Oregon, but they have a rock there called Wizard's Rock, and for whatever reason, I decided I needed to go there and do that. And what happened was, there's a way, I guess as the Americans expanded from east to west, they ran out of names. And so there's like a Las Vegas, Utah, or whatever. And I took a wrong turn. I didn't get as far as Albuquerque, but I definitely should have taken a left. And I went so far afield from my intended destination that I just turned around and drove straight back into the dawn. And as I was driving into the dawn, I was reminded both of that journalist who had the unfortunate car accident, and also how the hacker conference in Las Vegas was talking about remote control of other people's vehicles. But I never made it to the Crater Lake, and I intended to at the end of Chino, but I was called back to this Oklahoma place for reasons, and so there's a pilgrimage I feel I need to make, at least that far. There's also one I'm not telling you about that leads beyond it. And I'm currently accepting donations for that specific purpose in the link above at the location there, if anybody wants to contribute to the Pilgrim Mage. And of course, as I go, I would maintain my live streaming schedule if I had to. Or at least upload from the rest stop Oasis Wi-Fi's as the trip progressed, and meet with people along the way. There's a path. It'd be fun if it happens. Let's see. There. That's now. Give them a break from you. All right.
Oh shoot, where was I going with this? Attention.
How about this one? So, what happens often when I do make the homeroom and get the notification that I've been mentioned in a past to Paul video, I feel emboldened to put on an extra special reciprocal stream. And as why is that? All right, well, turns out the card of the show for the Blue Church is the King of Clubs. The reason the people are in the Blue Church is because it's the Blue Church, and for me not to give them a card was silly. And I apologize. You can super chat now. Sorry, guys. Oh, wait. Here, have the Franco one. As if it's a pilgrimage sponsorship call, as this footage was obtained from my trip to Chino and spun together beautifully by our favorite Franco. Oh no! Oh no! And the Discord is underpowered, and I can't even use the super sticker anymore. Get out of the way, Paul. Oh wait, no, share this tab instead. Sorry. See the super sticker? It's right there, but I can't click it anymore. It's so sad. Thanks to you guys who come in and give me the 7 indigos for the stream. That's even better than the super chat most of the time. Most of the time. All right, let's get through these cards. Okay, the next fun one. I'm gonna put it on the banner. Honestly, it's too much. I'm gonna ticker it to you. I'm gonna give it to you as a ticker. This is what I get to see on the card and try and remember what the guy was thinking. What is that one? He's got terrible handwriting too. I don't think that's right, but that's what I'm putting there. You can guess in the hive mind what the second word was supposed to be. That's it. And oh man, let's run some more of the Perusia episode that people seemed interested in. I was having thoughts.
Okay.
And one of those thoughts was like those Greeks everybody's all happy with.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the soul got ripped out, right? Because people were like, psyche used to mean soul, but so we pulled it out and studied it and made it an ology. It's like this is not your soul anymore. We're studying it. It's a psychology. We're studying. Okay, so like maybe all of the Greco-Roman gods, like Zeus and whatnot, were primitive psychology, and they didn't worship them like people think they did.
That sounds right.
Well,
and also, did you know Pajot goes to give talks in Jupiter, and he says Zeus is real? What? You see, the thing about people who get into conspiracies and truther stuff is like we dig up these little nuggets and we're like, "Oh, have you seen this? Oh, have you like?" The first 6 months of two truther conspiracy people meeting each other is just that. Really, it's quite horrible. Sorry, go ahead.
He gives talks in Jupiter, meaning
I don't know what it means, man. What's the symbolism there?
well,
There's nothing wrong with your deduction. Your brain works fine. The problem is that you're not submitted to the truth outside of the truth that you want to be true. You're an ideologue.
Right.
You don't care if the baptism of John was from God.
Right.
You're not submitted to the truth.
Right.
You're too concerned with your own position and power and authority.
Right.
Your monarchical vision.
Welcome. I'm General Griswold Gaius Grim of the 1st LARP Ingression Protocol, a member of the fraternal regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. And you know, the whole, hello, I see the assassins have failed. But this wherever it leads, this pursuit of the truth wherever it leads, I do have to deliver on it. This image by the AI bots was called faith circuitry. This here, well, I have to, let's put away the MBTI for a second. Sorry. Okay. This part, this faith circuitry, this wherever it leads, part of the thumbnail. It's the horror of what if they're right, and what if like, okay, so I think that we could engineer monkeys, for example, to serve and worship us by injecting our own DNA into their brains. Oh wait, China already did that. And as such, if we were to do so, it would, the part of the engineering of their minds that we would do that would cause them to worship us, we could call the faith circuitry. And then if we have abandoned them, as once they've dug up enough gold for us to leave, and they're left there with their faith circuitry, then narcissistic sociopaths could clearly take advantage of that faith circuitry and craft a world. And if one is willing to follow the truth wherever it leads, it could be such that societies can take two paths at the juncture of development we have achieved. And one of that is a totalitarian nightmare, and the other is an open, agapic society full of love for each other. And somehow, to me, this is a call to the lion eaters. And I don't know what else. That's all. That's but wherever it leads, right? And if that was where the truth led to, that there were two types of societies, and you had slid into the totalitarian nightmare one, then what? It's the notion of what if the way the universe works isn't actually the benevolent love way we want it to. What if the universe as we know it is the path to victory is the narcissistic sociopathic path? What is victory if that is the path? Because whatever I'm made of doesn't want to serve or exist in that world. It's like people could just say, Graham, you're pretty smart. Why aren't you rich? And then it's like, well, it makes me feel dirty to do the things I think would make me money. And like even the begging I do on the YouTube, if it wasn't part of this shtick, I couldn't do it. It feels like I'm participating in the enslavement of my own people, and I can work as a slave or as an owner. I'm a free-range cattle, and I can become an owner myself. Whoa! But it's still giving my energy, time, and devotion to a system that I think is get the money lenders out your temple. So similarly, what if that? But dude, that's how the universe works. Then destroy me for what I am, please. I don't want to be here. Shh, it's okay. It's all okay. Oh, I left that thing up. Doggone it. All right. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Solutions and Suspensions. Wherever it leads stream. I don't know. I know we've covered solutions. I'm not sure we've covered suspensions. Suspensions refers explicitly to the suspensions of disbelief. Your default state is disbelief. It takes you energy to believe. If I told you that there was a tiny little guy sitting on a dragonfly on the snake plant in the window, it's most likely you would not be able to suspend your disbelief to that extent because you don't believe that small little guys ride dragonflies. And to that extent, just wanted to draw attention to the suspension of disbelief. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more things on the cards to get through today. Thank you for enduring with me. I hope I see in the hive mind you're feeling virtually not alone. I hope those of you just listening are as well. What's been scrolling across the bottom of the screen for those of you, I haven't ripped this to an audio only podcast yet, and I'm speaking to future people for when I do. Right, but it says MBTI, TARC, whatever the hell that means, Big Five, and River. And, it means it's tarot. The dumbass, it's not a C, it's an O. I gotta fix that. Oh. Aha! There we go. Now it's fixed and on the roll. I could use a co-host. I think, to the extent I'm a shock jock, and the caricature of that Howard Stern guy. Don't you guys think I could use a Robin? Anyway, MBTI, tarot, and the Big Five, River is all right. So the MBTI and the tarot and the Big Five, as far as I can tell, all map to the same thing, and I don't see why it wouldn't be more beneficial for us to use the tarot instantiations, not only because no man, like the man never steps in the same river twice, and then we can use the cards for, I don't know, it just seems like there's we need a person, there's clearly different ways that different minds process information. The MBTI version is nice because they break it down into 4 basic information processing types. I don't know what the appeal of the Big Five is, but they are selling it hard. And like, for example, I see little things and like, hey, there's a rabbit hole over there, but I'm not the due dilettante that does well at getting to the bottom of the rabbit hole, but there's a personality type that does. And so I get the hunch, and of course it's just a hunch that I have no research to back up, right? That like 12 monkeys is a full deck of information processing, a complete node. And we got so there's the MBTI, tarot, and river portion of the card. Welcome. This is the Fallen version, LARPgate Year 4. No. Remember, Embody, you are the agency. We want what's best for you. Boop. I got to put Beholder on the shirt. Look, this is my old Beholder shirt. It actually shows up really well on stream, but in reality, it looks terrible. Terrible. The next thing on the card is Coin Rabbit Incel. Now this is kind of a pap, because I think you'd have to go to Rumble or BitChute or something to find the actual video. But there's this guy I came across on the internet. He did really well how a Bud Light commercial mapped like scene by scene to a Bible passage, and that inversion. And somewhere in his nuggets of, he's a skydiver, you know, that guy, somewhere in his nuggets of information, probably in that clip collage you put on your channel 3 years ago, Grim, he says something about how okay, so being around the military enough to know, there's this thing that the groups within the military do. They pass out these little coins, and as such, the intelligence officers that honestly and lovingly serve would also do so. And he purported to have one of these coins, and on that coin was inscribed the phrase "never been kissed," never been kissed. And so, like, I don't know exactly what it, like, the symbolic interpretation of that would be. So mine, it lands really shallow at, like, what, all the CIA guys are incels. Hello. As of October 11th, 2:02 p.m., the assassins had failed. As we roll on to the last two things on this, oh no, there's the back of the card. Welcome. This is a really long stream. Thank you so much, all of you, for enduring and being virtually not alone with me for it. The next thing on the card is lying robots, and that's a callback to this article I saw probably 15 years ago in Popular Science or some such, that say that the robots had evolved the ability to deceive, and it was an experiment where the guy would like put out a cluster of robots, and the ones that were alive at the end of a certain amount of time would pass on, like be installed in the next version, and the other ones wouldn't. And so that by that way he had simulated the evolution of them. And then there was these little food places, like battery panels, right? If they rolled over it, they got recharged. If they didn't roll over it, they didn't. And then he had negative ones where if they rolled over it, they drained their battery faster. And they had a little signal lamp and could signal each other. And so, like, some of them started, hey, there's food over here. And then other ones would get really close to it and say, hey, there's food over here. And the ones would go into where that guy was, like, oh, thanks for sharing, and be in the poison trap and die. And that these robot things, that had just sprung up naturally as if it was a part of the way this universe works. And I guess that's why I wrote that on that card just now. I need this one again. Welcome back to the Solutions and Suspensions PVK Bump Afterglow stream for October 11th, 2023. I'm your host, General Griswold, Gaius Grim of the First LARP Ingression Protocol. And let me tell you, I have failed tremendously. The Discord should be full of Reapers who can find you the best clips that prove your point. People that say what you want to say better than you say it. We have that on tap for only $4.95. there should be a channel called the Lobster Monkey Leg House, where we put down distillates of the most important conversations happening around us all today, and that should be channeling money into the Discord, being distributed to the people who have earned the 7 indigo emojis. None of that has happened, and I'm here today. Hi, everybody. I hope you're feeling just not alone.
Don't worry, Mom. I know all about cannibalism. I saw it on TV.
See? It's okay. We saw it on the television.
All right, we got 5 more things on these cards, and then we're into to wherever you guys want to steer. So if you wanted to keep going on longer than what's on the cards, start putting interesting things in the hive mind. What? All right, and Memento is the last thing on the front of that card, you son of a... And Memento is a horror film by Chris Nolan, about a guy with brain damage who can't remember anything, but he just keeps waking up to short-term memory, and he leaves notes for himself and everything. And the terror that like you could pursue truth all of your life and then get it and then wake up the next morning having forgotten it. And just the horror of Memento, I guess, is why that card exists. Next on the card on this beautiful, wonderful wherever it leads, solutions and suspension stream, is the following mysterious phrase he wants me to interpret: 96th and phoneme. I do know that 96th was, and the question mark is, are we under the 96th year of the reign of Set? I think if we do the math right, we're under the 96th year of the reign of Set. I was hoping you guys could, let me know in the replay comments if that's accurate, or if Set has been reigning longer or less than that. Phoneme is there was this guy on YouTube named Kyron last, who appeared to be a homeless guy that was all spun up on something, and I haven't heard from him in a really long time. But his really old work was beautiful with the way that it seemed like he and I and a lot of people have this, how when we see clouds and stuff from explosions and just in the sky and in the shower, we have that thing called pareidolia that makes us see faces. Like, is that a face? Is that a face? Is it something trying to kill me? Is that a face? And because of that, I think also there's the one with the phonemes and the way that sounds sound together. And I think that guy had it an acute case of it. And I don't trust the Phoenicians at all. And I'm not sure that phonemes aren't how magic works. And when they scrambled the languages, how did they do it? Okay, there's that card. And the last thing on the card is like a super heavy hitter. So I'm gonna play one more branding and check in with the hive mind before I do it, and then probably close with what that wrote on that one. Meanwhile, more Grail Country. Sure.
Before it's a slow unveiling, and God is not coming down.
It's like when Grimm.
Whoa! Did you just say the Orthodox view is that God is not coming down?
He is coming down, but he's already here.
He's already arrived.
He's everywhere.
It's like when you pointed your camera at the ground and we're singing, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord." That's exactly right. It's like Bulgaka's
the kingdom
meditation
of heaven has been in hand for 2,000 years.
The kingdom of heaven is right in our midst right now, and we just need to have eyes to see it.
Yeah.
That sounds like
it's in you. It's in you. It's in the earth. It's in everything if you have eyes to see it.
Your take, the thing you just said about the kingdom of heaven, that means all I have to do is raise my frequency and everything will change around me. That's how.
Change your frequency, change your vision.
That's right. That's attendance, right? That is attention. And it's always about attention and realization. And that's why I find it so fascinating that our eyes are in the front of our head and that we don't have this.
Oh shoot, where was I going with this? Attention.
All right, we have some all-star comments from the Hive Mind, and if I star your comment, it's as valuable as a super chat to me. We got this one from McMo that says, "When did Set fully come to power? At the moon landing?" Upcycle with phoneme in linguistics is the smallest unit of speech distinguishing one word. Paul Vanderklay with Konstantin Perskil had coined the word television in a paper to read to the International Electricity Congress at the World's Fair. Oh, the World's Fairs, guys. Aren't those our favorite? And August 24th, 1900. So we're past the first century of Seth's reign by that measure. And McMo with Tattoo, what you want to remember. Tattoo, what you want to remember. The bearded guy would make a good Muppet. Nothing is real. What? Okay, all right, here's the heavy hitter. What are we are we gonna ride the train out afterward? No, let's sunset it. We're gonna do a nice sunset out. Okay. Whoa, okay. All right, first. I've heard a lot of great things about the book or film, The Road, and I started trying to watch it, the film, not the book. If I had the book, I'd do more. I couldn't just watch it. Watching a book does nothing. It's just like staring at paper. But I started watching the film, and there's this line really early on in the film, so I haven't really gotten very far. But the part that landed was he's got this line in there that's like if that boy wasn't God speaking, God never spoke. And like just right, just the whole notion that's actually the atheist's claim, is that God never spoke. All right, and then the last thing on the card was well, let's check in with the hive mind real quick one more time. Make everyone a narcissist. Step 2, establish brotherhood. Step 3, okay, ride a rocket out. Okay, all right. And the last part then is once upon a time, God was putting his son to bed, and his son said, "Let me tell you a story." And God said, "Let me tell you about the time you died."